Hello guys, Delphine1 here, and today I have for you another how-to video. This is how to manually sharpen your chain. So I will be showing you how to sharpen your chain. This is a 325 pitch chain, 43 gauge bar. This is a steel MS-170. This is what you will need. You will need your 325 file, as right here. You will need your you'll need one of these guides. It has the 30-degree angle on here for 3/8 or 325 or just whatever. It has all the stuff right here, your degrees. Steel recommends 30 degrees on their 325 and their 3/8. And then another thing that you'll need is a depth gauge set thing. You don't really need this, but it's a lot better for beginners. So I'm going to show you guys with that. What the depth gauge does, first I'm going to talk about chains, okay? So what the depth gauge does is it's a guide for the chain. So you set the depth gauge for how much wood chips that chain will eat. So if you look at the cutter, there's just a little bit of clearance right here for that cutter to cut. That means that that's how much wood chip that's going to cut out. It's not going to be a very big wood chip, but the bigger the wood chip, the more sharper your chain is, and that means that the depth gauge is deeper. That means it's been filed down a lot more. So this has more cutting action. So what I do not like and what they do not recommend is filing your depth gauge off. You just want, every time you sharpen your chain, check it. Make sure that there's enough clearance for your tooth. File about 4 strokes down, usually is what I do, in one direction, which I'll show you in a minute. And then that's after you filed your tooth. And then check it again, and if you have to do more off of your depth gauge, then do so. But just make sure that you've got a little bit of clearance for your tooth to have some cutting action. And another way that you'll be able to tell is if you've done your depth gauge too much down, is your chain will get stuck in like it's wanting to just grab onto the wood and just kind of like bog down your chainsaw. So that's another way that you can tell that your depth gauge has been set too much, or that your chain is super sharp. So I'm going to show you guys how to file it first, and then I'll show you guys how to set the depth gauge. So what you want to do is have a vise like it's in here, or if you have a chainsaw chain sharpener, then that's a different video. Right now I'm showing you guys how to manually sharpen your chain. So what you guys want to do is make sure that it's in the vise, or if you're in the field, Steel has a stump vise that you can get to manually sharpen in the field, which it can be a pain in the butt to sharpen it in the field. I know you guys don't want to fiddle with the chain in the woods, so I recommend sharpening a few extra chains and taking them with you in the woods just in case. So what I'm going to do here is move my cutter for my right cutter into position, and then I'm going to lock the chain brake so the chain can't move back and forth, and I'm going to set my file in there, and then I'm going to do a few brief strokes. And that should perk it right up. If not, file more. Make sure it's at a 30-degree angle, and they have it on here on your file here, so you'll be able to tell which is how 30 degrees and stuff. So just keep repeatedly doing that until you feel that your teeth is good. And once you think it's good, just grab the next tooth that needs to be sharpened and move it up, set the chain brake again, and then keep the process going. Once you've filed these cutters, what you want to do is you want to flip your saw around like this. I'm going to show you real quick. Set it down in there and tighten it, and then do your left cutters. Also, another trick is, another way, before you even start this process, mark the first tooth with a Sharpie marker, and then you'll be able to tell which tooth you've sharpened first. So once you've sharpened them all, you'll know where you started at. So once you've sharpened both sides of the teeth, you want to start by doing the depth gauge. So your depth gauge will sit right over the tooth, and you want it to set like this. So it would be like this, just over the depth gauge, and you just want to file it down. So once you've done that, once you've done all of yours, all of these, then you can go out and have fun in the woods. So since I've already done these previously in the video, I'm going to go ahead and go out and take it for a test cut. So I'm out here and we're going to test cut it after we've sharpened the chain. So, as you saw, it cut pretty good. So, that's how you manually sharpen your chainsaw chain. That will apply for all pitches of chains, just you have to have the right file. Alright guys, Dale Final One, sign out, peace. Hope you like this how-to video on chainsaw chain sharpening. Peace guys.